What is it? What is the characteristic that angiosperms get that changes everything? Flowers. Angiosperms get flowers. And flowers hold future seeds and pollen. So the strategy remains the same. We have seeds that get pollinated by get fertilized by pollen, but flowers now begin to recruit pollinating partners. And the pollinating partners, some flowers are pollinated by wind still. That is true. In fact, grasses, who knew? This is so cool. Grasses are actually flowers, like with petals and eggs in there and sperm, pollen. Like they actually are flowers. We could look at that. But the mind-blowing adaptation that these angiosperms got is that they partnered with animals in a mutualistic, symbiotic strategy. They developed these flowers, which created lovely smells, which causes critters to come and check them out. They created nectar in their flowers to feed the critters that come forward to bring, come check this out. I've got a snack for you. And I'm going to dust you with pollen. And then you're going to go off to the next flower and you're going to take my pollen to that flower. And that flower is going to receive my pollen, which will then fertilize the seed that is in that flower over there. And then bring that person's pollen over back here to me. And we will fertilize these seeds in the same way. And the animal critter gets a snack, which is brilliant, or gets tricked. Like what? Okay, so I was at my kid's college campus. I was visiting him while he was doing his summer internship, doing research in chemistry. Like what? Mind-blowingly cool, whatever. I'm walking around the outside of the building with my husband, and we're walking along trying to find the door to get in and go check out his lab. And there's a dead thing smell, like, oh my God, something died around here. And we kind of didn't even think about it that much. We just walked away. It was just like stinky dead thing. We came back around after we checked out the cool lab. Awesome. And it was not a dead thing. How did we figure this out? I don't even really know, except I must have caught sight of the flower that is it's literally called a carrion flower. Because, and I don't know if that's spelled right, but it smells like dead, rotting animal. And I've never seen a carrion flower before, but I was completely convinced that there was a dead thing in the bush. But instead, it was this really weird, like maroon colored flower, and it was covered with flies who were in there going, I know there's food in here somewhere for me because it sure as heck smells like death. The fly was basically hustled by the plant to pollinate it and carry the pollen to another flower. There are flowers that mimic bugs. Like there are orchids that mimic wasps, and the wasps will come down and try to mate with the orchid. And during the mating process, like they're trying to have sex with the orchid, and the orchid whacks them upside the head with their pollen. And then the wasp, I mean, honestly, I don't know. Did the wasp think it was successful? Or does the wasp go, well, what? I don't even know what just happened, but I'm going to go try someone else. And then it goes and tries a different orchid that looks like a wasp, and it tries to have sex with that orchid and delivers the pollen from the first orchid. Like, that's bonkers. Like, that's so weird and cool and really successful. It totally works. Think about fruit. Fruit is another brilliant strategy for getting a seed from one place to the other. And it works because the animal gets a snack, and there are some plants that actually need the acid of an animal's digestive system in order to grow. They're like cherries are like that. They have to actually pass through an acidic environment of like a bird gut in order to be able to grow. That's how close the relationship is. And the plant, think about the amount of energy that it takes to produce cherries. Like here you're making a structure, you're using your energy to make something that you are delivering to another critter to eat intentionally. Like, here, I made this for you to eat. There's got to be a reason that that is beneficial to you. And the benefit is that they pass your seeds around. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about burrs. How many of you have been for a walk in a forest or in a field, and you get to the other side of the field and you look down and you're like covered with little burrs that stick to your clothing, and then you have to go through and pluck them all off? You just dispersed all their seeds for them. That is an animal partnership that allows for reproductive benefit. Dude, it's so cool. Okay, let's do a giant cladogram review of this whole thing.